Hello everyone. I just wanted to share my wrap up for the BookList Readathon. I was able to successfully complete all 5 challenges, yay! And the first challenge was to read a 5-star prediction, which I said was hopeless by Colleen Hoover. And I am giving this one 5 stars. I wasn't sure how to rate it once I finished it, but once I thought about it, I think it deserves 5 stars because it's not just the typical innocent girl falls for the bad boy trope. It's much more than that. It's complex. It's woven quite interesting, and I think it's a unique plot for the most part. So I'm happy to say Colleen Hoover did not let me down again, and it's a 5-star. And then the second challenge was to read a book that Santa or Lindsay has recommended. I wanted to get to Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter, but I didn't. But I did read Those Girls by Chevy Stevens. And the premise of this one is that 3 girls go running after the dad is abusive and does something. One night they just choose to run. And the town that the truck breaks down in causes more trouble with these 2 boys. And this novel spans years. So you get a little glimpse into their lives at the time that stuff is happening, and then years later and how they're dealing with it. And there is a high trigger warning for the sexual abuse. I read Still Missing by Chevy Stevens as well, so this is my second one by her. And I'm giving it 3 stars because it seems like every element of the book is heavy on the sexual assault or something like it, but yet I can't stop reading her books because I want to know what happened to the characters. And the third challenge was to read a book by a new-to-you author, so I read A Man Called Uwe by Frederick Bachman, and this one I gave 5 stars. I don't know why I waited so long to read a Bachman book, and I'm definitely going to delve into his whole collection. But anyway, this book is about Uwe, and he's a grumpy old man, even though he's only 59. His wife died a couple years ago, and he's lived in this, a neighborhood community for quite some time. There's rules that he thinks should be obeyed, and it shows how grumpy he is in his interactions with his neighbors, but yet, underneath it all, he does truly care for those. He's very loyal, and it just shows a glimpse into his life and then the lives around him. And the ending made me cry. And if I find meaning out of the book, which I did, because through his small acts, he really did make a difference in people's lives, and that is really meaningful for me. So I was able to definitely give that 5 stars, and I felt like I knew him. Bachman just makes his characters so believable. There's not too much of a plot, but that didn't bother me in this book. So I definitely highly recommend it. And the 4th challenge was to read a book that starts with an S and L, so I chose The Storied Life of A.J. Fikry by Gabrielle Zevin. I'm giving this one 3 stars, and basically what it is it's a story about A.J. Fikry, who owns a bookstore on an island. And his wife had died recently, and he's also kind of like a grumpy old man, but he's only 39. I definitely had to separate those 2 books, A Man Called Uwe and this one, because I was getting confused on the plot. But anyway, it shows glimpses into his life, and it is a touching story. For me, because I read it so close to A Man Called Uwe, I preferred A Man Called Uwe over this one. This one is a shorter read, and if you didn't like this as much, I would still give A Man Called Uwe a shot. And I did find it meaningful, but I think it was a little bit overhyped by the time I could get to it. Alright. The last challenge was to read a book that was on your list, and I originally had Wicked Lovely, but I decided to DNF it, and I chose to switch to The Iron King by Julie Kagawa instead. And I'm giving this one 4 stars. It's really good. I cannot wait to continue on in the series. One of my best friends recommended it for me, and I don't know why I held off so long to read it. I definitely think one of the books in this series might end up being a 5 stars for me. And in this one, Megan Chase is about to turn 16, and things start changing. Her best friend is not who he says he is, and there's a veil between the real world and fairies. And basically, her younger half-brother is taken away, and she has to go rescue him. And that becomes the adventures for the rest of the book. And it was so good, so interesting, it caught me totally off guard. I kind of went in with low expectations, and I wish I would have went in with a little bit higher expectations. So there you have it. 5 books read in a week. Lately I call that a success because I am slowing down a bit, but 5 books is still really cool. And I read 2 5-star books, and I think it was a really successful reading week for me. Did you participate? How many books did you read? Do you recommend anything based off of Hopeless and A Man Called Ube? Thanks for watching and have a great day.